Everyone hears those strange bumps in the night, right? A creak on the stairs, a whisper of wind. Most of us just roll over and go back to sleep. We blame it on the old house settling, or the cat knocking something over. We tell ourselves it's nothing. Evan used to be one of those people. He tried to ignore the footsteps he heard every single night. At precisely 2:43 a.m., without fail, the slow, deliberate steps would start, always behind him, never in front. He tried to rationalize it. First, it was just stress from work. Then, he blamed it on pure exhaustion. Finally, he started to wonder if he was becoming paranoid, his own mind playing tricks on him in the dead of night. He tried everything: earplugs, white noise machines, even sleeping on the couch. But the footsteps were always there, a steady, haunting rhythm just over his shoulder. Until one night, something changed. He was walking down the dark hallway towards the bathroom, and the footsteps were right there with him. As always, on a whim, driven by a mix of fear and frustration, he stopped dead in his tracks. And for the first time, the footsteps stopped to complete. Deafening silence filled the hallway. He stood frozen, his breath caught in his throat. The only sound was the frantic pounding of his own heart. He wasn't imagining it. It was real. Just as that terrifying realization hit him, his phone buzzed in his pocket. He fumbled for it, his hands shaking. A message from an unknown number glowed on the screen. 3 simple words: "Don't turn around." A cold dread washed over him. His fingers trembled as another message came through. "It learns faster when you look at it." A nervous, choked laugh escaped his lips. This had to be a sick joke, right? Someone was messing with him. Trying to ignore the knot of terror in his stomach, he started walking again, faster this time, determined to get to his room and lock the door. The footsteps immediately started up again, but they were different now, closer, quicker, almost right on his heels. He practically threw himself into his bedroom, slamming the door shut and fumbling with the lock. He flicked on the light, flooding the room with a harsh, sterile brightness. He leaned against the door, gasping for air, listening. Silence. A wave of relief washed over him. Maybe it was over. Maybe he'd finally scared it away. And then, a dry, raspy whisper slithered directly into his ear, so close he could feel the cold breath on his neck. "I told you not to." The next morning, the police broke down the door. They found Evan in the middle of his room, standing perfectly still, frozen in front of his full-length mirror. His eyes were wide with a terror that no living person should ever experience. His neck was twisted at an impossible, unnatural angle. The mirror itself was shattered, but not from the outside. The cracks spider-webbed out from a single point, as if something had punched its way through from inside the glass. And scrawled on the wall behind him, written in a dark, crimson red, were 4 chilling words that explained everything. "You looked, it learned." Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next one. Sleep tight.